Everybody says that winning on Tinder depends on luck, the best photos, or even writing a killer bio. But what if I told you none of that guarantees a reply? The real difference between guys who actually land dates and those who get left on scene is how they play the texting game from the very first message until the moment she agrees to meet up. Today, you'll discover why the right openers feel like magic, how playful teasing sparks her curiosity, and why sticking to boring small talk kills attraction fast. Stick around because the lines you'll see here aren't just theory, they reproven strategies that still crush it in 2025. Topic 1. Become a detective before you text. Before sending that first text on Tinder, most guys rush in with something random and pray for a response. But here's the deal. A great conversation starts way before you hit send. Think of yourself as a detective. Every picture, every caption, every link is a clue. Sometimes she's got only 2 photos, but if she's linked her Instagram, that's a goldmine. Your job is to gather as much context as you can before making your move. Imagine scrolling her Instagram and spotting a photo of her dressed as a devil while her friend's an angel. Boom, you've already got material most guys will miss. Instead of the boring, hey, what's up, you flip it into humor. Should I be worried that your friend S the angel while you read the devil in disguise? That opener instantly creates playfulness, intrigue, and a little challenge all in one line. This type of opener doesn't just grab attention, it sets the tone. She notices you actually paid attention, sees the effort, and feels way more inclined to reply. Women know when you're just copy-pasting the same line to 5 others. Think of it like fishing. The right bait makes all the difference. And once she bites, you're already ahead of 90% of the competition. But of course, that's only the beginning. What comes next is where things really get interesting. Topic 2. Play the game of challenge sometimes. Her reply won't fully match your joke. Instead, she might throw back a playful challenge, almost testing how sharp you really are. And that's where most guys freeze up or get too serious. Big mistake. The trick is to play along, return the challenge, and keep the energy light. Think of it as a tennis match. You don't let the ball drop. You send it right back. That's exactly what happened here. Her reply carried a, let's see if you can handle this vibe. Instead of backing down, he leaned in with humor and dropped a little bait. Guess we all have to start with step 1. You owe me an interview over 2 drinks. Notice how smooth that is. It's not a direct invite, but it tests the waters to see if she's open to hanging out. And this move works like magic. If she shuts it down, no problem. Nothing lost. But if she rolls with it, you already know she's open to the idea. It's like tossing a pebble into the water to test the depth before diving in. Too many guys wait too long to find out if she's actually interested. The sooner you test playfully, the faster you know whether to keep investing or move on. Topic 3. Balance comfort with playfulness. When she accepts the playful bait, even indirectly, that's your green light. Some women love this back and forth game, where you tease and she fires back. It's almost like a dance. If you lead with confidence and charm, she'll happily follow. This creates a rhythm where both of you are laughing, curious, and leaning in. At this point, the chat naturally moved into a comfort stage. He shared what he does for work. She mentioned her studies, and the vibe became more genuine. But notice he didn't drop the humor, kept teasing, saying her life seemed too easy, and she laughed while giving witty comebacks. That mix of real talk plus banter creates intimacy faster than just serious questions ever could. This balance is the secret sauce. Too much joking feels shallow, too much serious talk feels boring. The trick is to alternate show curiosity, then tease, then back to curiosity. Think of it like seasoning food. Without salt, it's bland. With too much, it's ruined. The right mix keeps the flavor alive. And once she's comfortable but still entertained, you've built the perfect setup for the next move. Topic 4. Drop hints instead of asking directly after building comfort. It's time to push things a little further. But instead of throwing out a blunt invite, he dropped another playful hint. I guess I'll need some old school investigation to really figure you out. It's light, it's fun, and it tests her openness without being needy. She knows exactly what you mean, even if you didn't spell it out. Her response said it all. She stayed in the game, and even asked where he lived. That's a major sign of interest. When a woman starts digging into your personal life, she's not just curious, she's checking if you're someone she can actually trust. It's her way of lowering the guard while moving closer. This is where many guys mess up. Some get overly excited and push too hard, while others shut down and lose momentum. The right move is balance. Share just enough about yourself to build trust, but keep the vibe playful. Think of it like poker. You reveal a couple of cards, but never your whole hand. The mystery makes her want more, while the comfort makes her feel safe.
Topic 5. Offer choices, not yes or no. At some point, you need to move the chat toward a real date, but instead of nervously asking, "Do you want to go out with me?" he used a smarter approach. He gave her choices. Something like, "So what, better Friday night drinks at a chill spot, or Saturday at some place more lively?" Notice how this assumes the meetup is happening. This technique is powerful because it eliminates the chance for a flat-out no. She doesn't have to decide whether to go out, only which option works best. And when she picks or even adjusts the plan, it's basically a yes in disguise. In this case, she suggested a different day, which still meant she wanted to see him. It's like offering someone 2 pizza flavors, pepperoni or barbecue chicken. You're not asking if they want pizza or assuming they do. That's how you guide the conversation without pressure. Many guys lose out because they leave the door too wide for rejection. By framing it as a choice, you keep control and almost guarantee progress. Topic 6. Stay cool when she can't meet. Here's where patience becomes your superpower. If she can't meet on the exact day you suggested, it doesn't mean rejection. Most of the time, it's just life. She might have a birthday, a test, or plans with friends. Instead of overreacting, he stayed calm and simply adjusted. That's how you keep things moving. And pay attention. She didn't just say no, she offered another day. That's a green flag. If she wasn't interested, she would have been vague or avoided committing. But by suggesting alternatives, she's basically saying, "I can't that day, but I want this to happen." That's the kind of signal guys often miss. This is why patience is key. Acting desperate kills attraction, while staying cool builds it. It shows confidence, control, and maturity. Think of it like planning a trip with a friend. If Saturday doesn't work, you just move it to Sunday. No drama. That calm energy makes her want to invest even more because she sees you as someone who knows how to handle things smoothly. Topic 7. Don't overdo the texting once the date is basically locked in. The biggest mistake is to keep spamming her with messages. At this stage, the goal isn't to impress, it's to maintain the vibe until you meet. The author makes it clear. Texting isn't about writing a novel. It's about building just enough momentum to take things offline. Think about it. The formula was simple. 1 creative opener, a playful challenge, a bit of comfort to build trust, and then the invite. That's it. Quality beats quantity every single time. It's like cooking. If you've got the right ingredients, you don't need to spend hours in the kitchen. Just serve it while it's hot. This is what guys don't get. Texting is just the bridge, not the destination. Once she's said yes to a date, your job is to keep it light and fun until you meet up. That way, the energy doesn't die, and she actually looks forward to seeing you. But here's the real question once you're face to face. How do you make sure the date itself is unforgettable? Topic 8. Keep it simple and natural. Once her attention is yours, you don't need fancy tricks anymore. The hardest part is done. From here, it's about keeping the chat light and natural. Show genuine curiosity, sprinkle in a little humor, and avoid overcomplicating things. The worst move is trying too hard when the connection is already solid. The best way to do this is by leaning into shared interests. Maybe she likes coffee, cats, or music festivals. That's your doorway to a smooth invite. For example, you're into coffee. Then I guess I'll have to take you to a spot that'll ruin every other cappuccino for you. It doesn't feel forced, it feels like the conversation naturally led there. In the end, it's about keeping things simple. You're not writing a movie script. You're just opening doors and creating curiosity. With the right mix of humor and genuine interest, everything else flows. And once the vibe is there, the only step left is taking it offline. That's where the real game begins, turning that first meetup into something she'll never forget. Conclusion: now you know how to turn simple texts into powerful tools of attraction. The real question is, are you going to keep sending "Hey, how are you?" and hope for a miracle, or are you going to apply this and start getting real replies? Think about how many chances you've wasted because you didn't know the next move. And imagine how different things could be if every conversation turned into a real opportunity. If you want more strategies that actually work, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and keep learning with me. Because the only thing standing between you and the results you want is the action you decide to take right now.